Feels good.
Hey, good morning, everybody out there in Wildcat Nation. You're back with the Tuesday morning show minus Chris. A little car trouble this morning.
Where is Chris?
Where in the world is Chris?
I think we had car trouble is what I think I heard.
That's no fun.
Nope.
Chris. Well, I think they took a little trip to Texas this weekend for soccer. So
I believe that's true.
maybe
yeah.
they ragged out the vehicle.
Did I talk about my flat tire?
No.
Do tell.
No, there's nothing to tell. I got a flat tire.
Should I hear about my flat tire?
No,
I'm not gonna talk about it.
I got that truck, and so I'm driving out here. I actually have to go to court. So it was last Thursday. I'm like,
Oh, is this the day you were in a suit?
Yeah, the day I was in a suit, and don't make me put my suit on.
Don't do that.
And so I'm headed down 60 here, and the truck warns me you got a low tire. And I look, and I can see that it's pressure is 42, and it's supposed to be 60 on those tires. I was like, it's 41.
60 on those tires?
Yeah.
Wow.
72 in the back, 65 in the front, actually.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
drive across Taneycomo with
It's a big truck.
Big truck.
And so I'm seeing the pressure go down 37, 35,
Oh, so it was
33.
dropping while you were driving.
Yeah, it was dropping while I'm driving. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get to Marshfield on this. So
No.
I pull into Blunt's here on about 18 pounds of pressure, which on a normal car is fine, but
Right.
on that, not so much. And Jim says, he's like, I don't think it's probably bad. It's probably ruined. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take two new.
Yeah.
So they'll match all that.
Right.
If you can use a spare, whatever, match that one, sell me a
Right.
new spare, it'll be fine. He comes back 10 minutes later. He's like, I found the nail. I pulled it out. It's fine. I just patched it. I'm like, okay, how much? $10.
Yeah.
Jeez, isn't that great?
I was all set, ready to buy two new tires.
And they're fast. Too.
And he was fast.
Yeah.
Turned it right around, made it to court early. It was great.
They are a staple in Rogersville.
It was good stuff. I really appreciated the great service I got from Blunt's. And they're not a sponsor
No.
yet.
Not yet. But they do a great job putting the tire on.
Yep. No,
I'd have them in my pit crew if I was rich.
Yep. They did a great job for me. Got me right where I needed to be. Very much appreciated the service from Blunt's. Good stuff.
Yes, they are one of those Rogersville staples. There are some Rogersville entities that have been around for a long time.
For example, Sportsland pickup covers.
Oh.
One of our sponsors
They
here.
are one of our
They
sponsors.
are one of our sponsors here at K-ROG, and I got my truck accessories from there, and I've been super pleased. Those swing cases are sweet.
Yeah,
I talk about them all the time, but I love my swing cases.
Yeah, I
They're
can't
the
have to
best.
get prepared.
They're
Jesse
pretty
and I are
awesome.
in the great debate of I lease vehicles, and my lease is going to come up this year, and I think I'm done leasing. So it's like, what do you get? And he just bought one about a year ago, and it's really hard because vehicles are expensive, and you can't find, like, we'd love a good used truck, but you can't find.
You might as well buy a brand new one.
Yeah.
No, that's what he
Used
said.
trucks are as expensive as you're not going to save much buying a used truck.
No,
over a
it's
new
wild.
truck.
I hate to say it, but especially around here because people use their trucks.
They use
Yeah.
their truck.
Now, when we were down in Texas, you had guys that had like these huge, massive
Pavement
trucks.
princesses.
Call those bro-dozers.
Yeah, bro dozers is what they were. I just wanted to do a little shout out today. We actually have a live studio audience today.
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
we do. She's ignoring us.
She's reading a book.
The beautiful and studious Cecilia Baker.
She's now intentionally ignoring us.
is in the studio.
She just
Oh, she's
shot
glaring.
laser beams
She's
out of her
glaring.
eyes.
That's
How
awesome.
dare you, Father?
She's super awesome. Oh man.
So what else has been going on in
Hey,
Rogersville?
This weekend was big. We had a big weekend.
It was a big weekend.
Yeah, they of course there was the rucking group that got
Yes.
started, and that went well. They're going to keep doing that. So
I'm going to catch it on the
Good.
next pass
Awesome.
because I really want to do that.
Yep.
I had a phone call and somebody asked me about rucking, so I shared the information with them.
Good job, Lauren Brooke.
Thank you.
Way to be the conductor of information for Rogersville.
I did it.
And then that trash cleanup.
Woo! Ben Hunt, you are a saint and a scholar.
You're a man.
And they went down B too. B Highway.
Oh
didn't
my
they?
goodness.
B Highway.
Somebody
had
I think did
bags
that.
down
Yes.
there.
I think
If you-
somebody took the initiative to hit B.
Well, if you drive into Springfield, you're like, oh, this looks really nice. Oh, because they hit the spot
Right.
where they had to quit.
Yeah.
And you can totally tell what they did the difference. But they're doing it again.
This Saturday, I'm going to be there.
really?
I can be there this Saturday.
And isn't there some sort of pizza involved?
Yeah, post game is, I believe, medium pizzas. If you're a volunteer, I think you're going to get a medium pizza.
Well, there you go.
Um,
And it's not. They didn't take all day. They just spent like an hour.
that is the way. That guy did an excellent
Yep.
job of organizing
Way
that
to
trash
go.
cleanup. Good
Yep,
job,
way to
Ben.
go.
You the man.
And interestingly enough, there was a story on a local news station that said today this is a problem in Springfield too because they haven't had inmates to do the work because of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
because
Which
of
is our
staffing
problem here.
issues, which is our problem here.
Yeah.
So I mean, in a perfect world, people just wouldn't litter.
Mm.
Crazy,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
unfortunately, and some of it's trash and stuff that blows off
Just
of
blows off
vehicles.
the track. The
Yeah.
garbage trucks.
Yeah.
So we're doing it again Saturday
Well,
at 9.
Springfield will never be able to pull it off.
No,
No.
no, they're not cool.
Bunch of communists.
Oh my gosh. 70% of Springfield just went, what?
Shut him off.
Come on.
The lights go off.
We know it's true. You know it's true. Yeah, they are.
Anyway, if you're interested in
That was nice. Ooh.
if you're interested in picking up trash in Rogersville and fighting the communism,
That's right. The Red Horde.
meet at Post Game Pizza at 9 a.m. Ben has organized it again. We have trash bags. We're going to clean up our town because, you know what? It needs to look good. Oh my gosh.
That's crickets.
Nobody wants to go.
All right.
What else
Hey,
happened this weekend?
Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened this weekend, but I have my next $1 million idea
Whoa, this is exciting.
for anybody out there who has
Hang on, I'm getting it out of here.
a 3D printer. So here's the deal. I came up with this in church the other day. I like to take the lid off of my coffee mug because it's hot, and frankly, I'd prefer to drink straight out of it.
I agree.
I
yeah.
love having the lid if I want to keep it warm. But the question is, what do I do with my lid when I don't have it on there? I don't really like laying it on the table. You know, it gets a little coffee on the table and all
It
that.
does.
So I need somebody with a 3D printer to make a little thing that goes on the bottom of the mug that is threaded. Or this doesn't have to be threaded, but then you can pop it on the bottom of the mug.
It's not a bad idea.
I think it's $1 million idea.
Just call up Yeti and tell him.
I'm not giving my ideas away for free. I'm just going to put them out here on the internet for
Well,
free.
we only have 11 listeners, so you're correct.
You're good today.
But I
You're
think that'd be
fine.
super easy for somebody just to build a little thing that kind of slid over
What
the
about
bottom.
a magnet? Or
Tight.
just,
Well, this isn't. Well, you'd have
well, I
to.
know, but I mean, it'd like stick on. Is that
Magnet's a
magnet?
good
Is that
idea.
magnety?
It might be more expensive with a magnet.
Magnets. If you watched Breaking Bad, you know that reference. Magnets.
I've watched Breaking Bad like 3 times, and I can't place that one.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
When they were destroying the evidence and they put the magnets in the big truck.
Oh yeah.
Jesse Pinkman says magnets.
Yep.
I've never seen it. I think I saw like half of the first season.
Whoa!
I'm surprised by that, Tom.
Really?
You
Well,
need
I
to
mean, you're
watch
talking
it.
about movie, TV,
I like movies, yeah.
but not TV shows. So
I'm not a
much.
huge fan of like long form stuff.
It's
Oh,
long.
see, I am.
It's in the long haul.
I like that. So here's the thing about Breaking Bad that I think would capture you is the storyline is you're just like everything Walt does, you're kind of like it's a bad decision,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a very logical decision. You're
Right.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, everything he does that
Okay.
leads him into this massive life of crime
Mm-hmm.
makes sense even though it's a bad decision.
I watched the first season. I thought
Yeah.
it was good, but it's kind of one of those things that didn't really want to get any more invested in it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
you will get invested.
You
in it.
will if
It'll
you watch
suck in.
longer.
That and like Yellowstone does the same thing to you.
See, I haven't watched Yellowstone yet. I watched
can't do
Tiger
them.
King, and I got totally invested in that.
Yeah.
Well, that was
so
watching
much that I watched it like
I
from
saw
front to
that.
back in like one day.
So I saw this. This was awesome. The you know how we used to say back in the day, "You're cruising for a bruising."
Oh,
Yeah.
It's now you're asking for a baskin.
Oh my god! You're asking for a basket.
What?
You're asking for a basket.
Carol Baskin murdered her husband.
We all know.
Yeah, that's
Yes, she did.
that's the theory anyway.
And if she didn't, he's on a tropical island right now. Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I won.
Got you.
Mm.
Batteries at the bottom of the ocean. That's also
Well, she got the
possible.
cash
Shark
so,
bait.
out of that deal.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened there, I understand. Well, we went from 12 to 10 viewers just like that.
Well, it's interesting you say that, though, about Tiger King, because we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary
all of that.
of the COVID
Yeah.
announcement. I marked the 13th of March because it was Friday the 13th when Trump announced that we were in like a national emergency. So that is the date in my mind. And, of course, Tiger King was made
Yeah.
It came out.
wildly
It came out.
popular
Yeah.
because
Everybody was stuck at home looking for
We
something to
all
watch.
watched it.
We did.
We did.
And we're all sorry for it.
Yeah.
And now they're saying we're going to go another year. I did read something that said that if you got the vaccine, that you can now hug your family inside your house.
It's actually, Tom, I was.
I've been breaking
it's
a lot of
basically
rules.
that. I was reading a little update. The CDC has released new guidance on some of the COVID stuff, and if you 14 days after you receive your last dose of the vaccine, they say it's okay to gather in small groups, but they still think you should wear a mask.
Okay, talk about sharing secrets online. There's a large portion of the country that doesn't know we've been living pretty normally here.
Sorry.
I mean, and I hate to downplay that because it is a real serious thing, but still, we've managed to live pretty normally here in the middle of the country and other places too.
I have a theory.
Because we're not
Sorry.
communists.
Sorry.
Here's my theory, and I've been telling this to my kids, and it may be totally harebrained, and it probably is. The reason why the big cities have a lot of COVID issues is because they don't have any trees. Because trees actually filter the air.
Mhm.
We have a lot more trees out here where we live, and I think
Could be.
when you live out in the country, you're going to have a lot cleaner air out there. You look on your phone, it tells you what the air quality is for the
Yes.
day and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And I would think like if you're out in like Los Angeles where you can actually see smog, you know, in the atmosphere, your immune system's probably low anyways as it is.
I mean, it would make sense if you have environmental factors that affect your health.
Beijing is bad like that too. We spent some time over there, and it's like the sky's orange and it's hazy. And I remember when we flew in one time, they actually had the airport shut down in Beijing International Airport for everything but international flights because the visibility was so bad, and it looked like we were flying into fog. It was like
creepy.
fog. It wasn't. It was just the pollution was that bad. You
Jeez.
couldn't see across this room. The pollution was so bad.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Our air quality is only affected by two things. When everyone decides to burn, which has recently happened.
Right.
And thank you, LR Fire Department. They have been fighting some serious fires lately, and grass fires, and caused by burning on days you probably shouldn't have been or not monitoring it. So please burn responsibly.
There's a really cool little news service out there that tells you if it's a red flag day,
Yes.
Yeah.
when you should
Yes.
or shouldn't
Yeah.
burn. And those are really good indicators. They're actually doing it for all of our safety.
Yeah, it's a real thing. So
And you can call the fire department, LR fire department, and say what's the is this a burn day or not a burn day? And they'll
should
tell
I
you.
burn? And I mean, I love burning stuff. Don't get me wrong.
it's-
I'm a firebug.
Mhm.
We have
It's a good pastime.
It's so fun.
We have a massive brush pile.
Yeah.
And I'm just
You're just waiting.
Just waiting.
well,
for
I
that.
thought maybe Sunday. But
Get you a little
We need a
diesel
little
fuel.
rain. Yeah, we'll have a little rain.
Yeah.
So-
we gotta look at that.
Yeah, you get this
Oh, you got the poison ivy.
I think it's actually
sumac.
Sumac is what it is.
I don't really know the
nasty.
difference, but
Sumac
that's a thing.
Sumac looks like you got burnt by
Yeah.
acid.
Really?
Mm.
I don't think I've ever had the sumac poisoning.
Poison ivy will kind of bubble up.
Mhm.
Oh, I've seen the bubbling. My brother Ryan is disgustingly allergic to poison ivy and turns into a mutant when he gets it.
Ooh.
I mean, I've seen things on his face that... Well, this is a funny story. When they were in Boy Scouts, I probably shouldn't say this, but
Well, that's what makes good TV.
Kids back in the day used to smoke grapevine.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't know if kids still do that or not, but
They do now.
I still.
I know
remember the
that's why I
taste.
said I probably shouldn't say this.
I still
but
remember the taste of
don't
it.
smoke grapevine because you could accidentally
That is-
smoke poison ivy
That is cool.
because it is a vine
Mhm.
like grapevine.
And it grows. It will
And
grow.
unfortunately, my brothers smoked poison ivy, and it got in their bloodstream,
Oh.
and it was a situation.
It was a situation.
I'm so tough. I smoke poison.
Yeah, and they survived. And
Crap
they did,
thunder.
and there's no you get immunity after you horribly No, it just gets worse.
Mm.
So poor Ryan is horribly allergic to poison ivy. Horribly.
Well, the same thing. I don't know how many times when I was a kid I got stung by a bee or a wasp or whatever, and then when I turned like 25, I got stung by a wasp, and all of a sudden I lost my superpowers. And I went to the doctor, and I was like, "What's wrong with me?" And they go, "You got stung by a wasp." And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You are in anaphylactic shock."
Okay.
And they said it's from being stung by bees too many times. I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
okay."
So that's the wrong way to do it.
It's the wrong way. Don't do that. Don't get stung when you're younger. Save it till when you're older.
I have never been stung by a wasp or bee.
Really.
Never. I don't know if I'm their earth mother and they avoid me, or I don't know. I've never been stung. It'll happen. I'm just waiting. It's never happened.
Oh, Lauren.
Yeah, I would think
You're
with like
lucky.
showing houses and all that stuff,
You
you're
would
bound
think.
to
I'm
wander into something.
I'm an outdoorsy person. I mean, I spent most of my time outside as a kid, and still, any chance I get, am outside. Jesse, red wasp, across the room, will make eye contact with him and hit him.
That's-
Really?
Me, I could
That's
just
how
be
I am,
standing
too.
in a swarm, and they just don't. They're like, nope.
I was stung like by yellow jackets when I was a kid.
Ouch.
Some stuff. But anymore, they don't sting me either. I don't. I'm not afraid of them. I don't react.
I'm not either because I've never been stung.
Right. Well, I think they maybe smell fear. I don't know.
I think they do because
That may be.
I got like a little EpiPen that I have to
Mhm.
carry around with me now.
Yeah.
Because if I get it, I'll be rolling around on the ground probably.
My mom had a similar situation.
Chewing on
I mean,
your tongue.
she got
Chewing on
stung
your
and had a
tongue.
bad reaction, and I think that was the reason. Like, okay, you've been stung enough. I don't know.
No, we were out at the range. I guess it was last fall, and had some guys out there and parked the truck. And I parked down a little farther than I usually did because there was a couple extra people there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently parked next to a bee home. I didn't see a hive. I didn't see a hive.
Oh, it was like
some of them they're burrow. They'll
The
burrow.
yellow
into
Oh,
the
yeah,
yellow
that's
jackets
true,
will burrow.
yeah,
Hey,
in the
there's Chris
ground.
Ballard right there.
There's Chris Ballard.
There's Chris Ballard.
And
Oh, he's got a grumpy face.
Some-
Grumpy face.
Hey, Chris, you get to replace me because I got to take Cecilia to school.
Bye, Tom.
bye, Tom.
Poor guy's had a bad morning.
And these bees were all around, and they were after this one guy, and I was just, and he was like, "There's bees here." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, bees."
Bees.
And I was like, "Okay," and they didn't bother me.
It may be a thing.
It may be a thing. Good morning, Chris.
How you doing, bud?
Morning.
Oh,
Oh, that was a sad morning.
that's just sad.
Oh
Not been a good one.
So the alarm goes off at 5:30,
Yeah.
and usually I get up, shower, get ready to go to my Bible study on Tuesday morning, and Shayna greets me with, "The boy's car won't start,"
Ugh.
and it's pulled in the driveway,
Blocking.
blocking Shayna's car
Ew.
in the garage. So
Ew.
after you don't get your coffee, you don't get your proper wake up, and now you're
Trying to do a morning show.
well, yeah. So there's all kinds of like moanings and grumblings and things coming out of my mouth and ears and everything else,
Mhm.
just sweating, trying to work on this vehicle, and it was,
And yet,
what a start.
perfect hair yet again, though. Not a hair out of place.
Yeah. Priorities.
Priorities, man.
Listen, when the whole day goes to pot, you're like, I'm taking a shower and I'm fixing my hair.
At least my hair looks
something.
good.
And that's the deal. Like, I find the things I can be in control of,
Yeah.
and just do that.
Just hold on to that.
And then I can deal with the other stuff.
There you
It's
go.
fair. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Car trouble is the
Yeah.
worst. It's awful.
So
Yeah.
what was the resolution? Did you get the boys' car
So-
started? Or?
So what has happened? You know, your steering wheel has a locking mechanism.
Yes.
So try to Google how to fix that when all the people get on there and say, all you have to do is turn the steering wheel and then you can
Mhm.
turn the ignition.
You got to open the door,
Yeah.
lock them, unlock them, close the door, honk the horn,
Right.
pump the brake,
Yeah.
and jiggle it.
Not far off from some of the discussion boards that I read this morning.
I'm aware.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I think the pins in the actual keyhole, to use the technical term,
Yeah.
are worn out.
Ah.
I think.
Yep.
There is one fix I'm going to try when we get done with this show, and that is to jack up the front, actually make the tires
make
kind of
it-
turn, because they say they could be locked up, which is causing it to not want to release. So we'll give that a go.
Well, that's
If you're a mechanic and
hard.
have a better solution than what I read this morning on the discussion board, drop that in the comments.
Please
yeah,
comment.
That would be awesome. Yeah, nobody's commented today. It's very
I almost
sad.
commented, but I remembered I was driving and thought, no, I don't
That's
need
wise.
to tell you that I'm on my way.
Yeah, that's a lesson that every young driver I think learns pretty quick is do not shut your engine off. Like you pull into a parking space and you cut the wheels, and so you got them,
Yep.
Mhm.
And you're still in drive.
and you shut the key off.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what.
And now
locks.
you're locked. Yeah.
And now you're locked.
Yeah, or you can manually do it by turning your wheel all the way
Yep.
once you're stopped. But that is not the problem. It is more than that.
Mm,
That's sad.
that's a bummer.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So did you get Shane into school?
Got the kids to school, went back, got Shayna, got her to school, and now I'm here. I had this long to-do list, all this stuff I'm going to accomplish today, and now it's,
No.
well, and I get to play mechanic first,
Yeah.
and probably just calling a record.
Oh,
Yeah. But that's okay, because the government's going to send me $1.9 trillion. That's how it works, right?
I
Uh-huh.
think so.
I'm being stimulated.
Yeah.
Chris is like, I'm mad about this. We're going to talk about this thing I'm mad about too.
Let's go back to Hornets. So I am allergic to yellow jackets, and I carry an EpiPen.
You and Tom.
I heard the discussion.
So
on the
we've
way
got
in.
two ends of the spectrum. Lauren and I, they avoid,
Yes, they
but
don't.
you guys, they target to the extent that you have to.
Isn't that interesting? Because Tom and I probably spend more time in the outdoors hunting and fishing than the two of you. Is that fair to say?
I'm an
Probably.
outdoorsy person, but yes, you guys spend
Yeah.
more time outdoors.
And we're the ones that are nearest to
They,
death.
but
when
no,
we
they
go on-
they
go
do
for
that
a
to
walk.
Jesse too. So I bet it is a what is that physiological thing?
Some-
Yeah, it's-
something about our smell.
Mosquitoes eat me alive
Do they?
horribly. I mean, I cut my leg in our backyard in Springfield years ago. I cut my leg and I looked down and there was like 50
They were
mosquitoes.
licking it up.
Ugh, gross. But I am one of the O blood types,
Yeah, so they
so
smell
they are attracted to that apparently.
Really? Yeah, I'm O
Crazy.
also. And
So mosquitoes, yes. Bees, no. They're like, Earth Mother, we will not bother you. And I'm like, thanks, friends.
incredible.
And the mosquitoes are like, we're the demons.
Wow.
I don't know.
Did you hear about my invention idea, Chris?
Listen to this.
I missed that, so it kept cutting in and out of me
So-
on the way here.
You know, you and I both would prefer to take the lid off.
Correct.
So we need a device that goes on the bottom of this
Ooh.
mug
Yeah, to hold that.
to hold the lid on there.
Yeti, are you listening? Yeti?
I
They're
think
not. We already
I
asked.
think it's a third party
Yeah.
that you sell them for.
Because I'm always in that
$5.
dilemma of where do I put my lid.
And
Shayna has kind of taught me through the years to be a germaphobe. I'm not by nature, but
Right.
she is.
And
So
then-
now I think about, like, oh, I don't want to set this down right here.
well, and I know that if you put
Mhm.
this here, you're going to set it down like that.
It's got to be stable.
yeah.
And it would. I mean, if it's on a lip, that would.
Magnets.
Well, and that was.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Magnets.
It's
Yeah.
got to be magnetic.
But I was just thinking like a plastic with like a little rubber lip that
Yeah.
would kind of
just
suction
like
on
a-
there,
Oh, I got it.
and then this would then just the same as
That was
it.
an awful setting.
Same as it clips in. Same
Yeah.
as it goes in here, we just go in there. You just replicate this on the bottom somehow.
Speaking of L. So
Okay, Gary.
L.
Ah.
I tried really hard last night to do a middle part, even though my part's not that off center. It's kind of a middle part, I guess, because apparently middle parts are the thing right
They
now
are.
for girls.
And mom jeans.
Yeah, and so I was going to do a middle part, which is, I mean, to be fair, an inch different than my current part that I've had my whole life. And I tried really hard last night to do it because I was going to be on this and be like, "You guys notice anything different about me?" Middle part.
I moved it over a half an inch.
I couldn't get it because I have a widow's peak. I couldn't get it.
Lauren, you do this show with 3 dudes. I get it. This
I
one's
know.
a bit metro.
I know.
And of all the guys that should catch that,
Oh, I knew you weren't going to notice.
no, never.
No.
I may be metro, but I'm still not observant.
See, this is what happens when I try to pre-plan things for the show. It just doesn't. I'm like, I can't do this. I spent 10 minutes in my bathroom last night messing with this.
Ooh, we have a comment. Is it
And
a
it's-
mechanic?
Rick Burney, our buddy Rick.
Rick, what do you got?
He's also not a fan of the lid.
See, I'm the same
Oh,
way.
okay,
I don't
yeah.
really like drink. I mean, I'm doing it right now.
I
hate-
take
hate
lids
the lid.
off all
I
the
prefer
time.
to not lid.
And I actually started taking the lid off because the coffee was too hot.
It stays hot.
It stays so
I
hot.
love
I'm
it.
like, I'm going to drink this for lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
I like boiling coffee though. So
Well,
that's
I
not
do
my
too.
issue.
Yeah, but it's, you know,
I want it hot.
yeah. But this was
but
like,
going through the lid, it just somehow burns me in a way that
It
is
doesn't hit the
unpleasant.
mouth the
yes,
same way.
it hits the mouth in a different way for
It's
sure.
different.
agreed.
Okay.
Well,
I feel like we're just getting started. Are we done?
no, I don't think we're done.
Oh, we got another comment here.
You gotta do something with the lid. Jason Finn's right. I mean, you gotta do something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Something's got to be done with the lid.
Maybe we should develop a K-ROG patented lid saver.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
well,
let's
let's just
do
get
it.
on it, Donnie. Let's do it.
I'm just the idea guy. I don't actually have the skills to
I
accomplish
think I know
anything.
somebody that has a 3D printer, but he's kind of busy, so
We're busy.
I don't know if I can get him to do anything.
Once again, this is feeling like a Seinfeld episode.
Well,
What do we
it
do with
is.
the lid?
I'm very Elaine today,
The placement
too. I
of
got
the
my
hole and the
black...
size of the hole in the lid is all the issue.
it's critical.
And I
You
agree.
gotta get the hole right.
The lid, like, dribbles on stuff when you set it down. That's
does.
what drives me nuts.
Yep. And so, we need then something that goes over this end of it as well. So it's like a lid keeper.
It's getting very complicated.
Now, you've seen that Yeti does have the design to push on the lid hole. It is magnetic, and so it's a flap that comes up over
yeah,
the hole.
and
You
it-
can buy that
it's an
for
adapter.
$10. It's a new lid, but it doesn't fix your what do I do with my lid
when I take it
problem.
completely off. Yeah.
It just
Well,
it solves the problem of closing the hole so it can stay even hotter for
I
even
think
longer.
I think you get a prototype of this. We go over to Shanghai, we source it, and we start importing these things. And I'm telling you, we can get these things made and shipped over here for probably less than $1 a piece, and we could sell them for $10 probably.
When you say we go to Shanghai,
I'm not going to
you go
shake.
to Shanghai.
I'll go to Shanghai.
You're the only one that will eat the food.
I have a Chinese
Oh, I eat the
passport.
food.
I have a Chinese visa in my passport. I'm legally allowed to
I
go
like
to Shanghai.
American Chinese food. I don't like Chinese food.
Oh, have you been there?
No.
It's
I could eat-
fantastic.
I
For
would
that
love
very
the
reason.
food.
You know how important food is to me, right?
I do.
I love trying different food.
I love
Oh.
eating in well, I have never been to Shanghai, but in Beijing. I
Have you
love
ever had
eating in
You ever
Beijing.
had a Wuhan bat?
No. No bat snack fever for me.
Ooh, wow.
Yikes.
I
Have
have
seen
eaten
a bat?
I
Why
have
would you
eaten-
eat it?
In Beijing. I have eaten garden snake, donkey,
Donkey.
scorpion, chicken feet,
Ugh.
cow stomach.
I've seen what chicken walk through.
That's a good point.
Well, they cook
Ugh.
them. They're cooked.
So gross.
They're crunchy. It's not good.
Yeah.
I didn't say I
I
liked
knew it
any of
wasn't
this
good.
stuff.
Like
but,
I just looked at it and said that's not good.
But you
Yeah,
get
it's
like
not a-
pot stickers, jinjiaozi, you
Ooh.
get baozi.
So my mom used to. She
Tons
had
of
this
beef.
phrase. It's called a thank you helping.
Uh-huh.
It just used to drive me nuts. Just a thank you helping. It would just be this little.
A little bit to
One of
say
those-
thank you
you-
for cooking it.
Oh, it was so
yes.
good.
Thank you. It's your way of being grateful
Uh-huh.
that I cooked this. So it's
Ah.
called a thank you helping. And she'd put just a little, she'd say, I'm just going to put a little dollop here. It's
Uh-huh.
just a thank you. Did you have those things your mom said growing up that just annoyed
Yes.
you to all ends?
Absolutely.
Just
I can't
Just a
think of
little
one
thank you
right now, but yeah.
just a little dollop.
Just a little
A
thank
thank
you
you.
helping.
Hmm.
Just force yourself to eat the same.
It's like
you don't
nails on
wanna
a
eat.
chalkboard to hear her say that.
Oh,
Love you, Mom.
yeah.
She's not listening. She's not on Facebook.
Kids and moms irritate each other quicker than anything on earth, I think. Because you know how your mom can say something that just lights you on fire, but if another person said it, you're like, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a mom
not,
thing.
not my mom.
Is your mom a saint?
Yeah, she really
Is
is.
she?
Yeah,
I need to meet the mom.
anybody that knows my mom would tell you that. She taught here in Rogersville for darn near 30 years.
We need to have her as a guest.
She is the most
You remember?
even-keeled,
Just
Yeah.
calm, steady as a rock. Nothing ruffles her.
I loved it when David Letterman used to have his mom on the show.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Yes.
that?
Yep.
That was
Oh,
great.
I remember David Letterman.
Yeah,
That's a good show.
that was a good show.
I like that. I don't watch those shows anymore.
I know.
No, they're not good.
That's-
You hanging around with those grumpy old men, Lauren,
I
it's
know.
rubbing off
Oh,
on
I
you.
was born a grumpy old man. It just came out that way.
Oh,
Reminds me of
boy.
The Jerk. Was born a poor black man. Maybe the white. I read them.
Oh man. Oh,
Sorry if I offended anybody by
Yeah.
I don't think
Same.
so. It's a movie quote.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Don't start quoting Blazing Saddles.
No,
Or Dr. Seuss.
do not quote Blazing Saddles. I don't even know if you can say Blazing Saddles anymore.
Just saying it. Well, why has nobody canceled Blazing Saddles?
Is that
Because I don't think anybody watches it
Why?
anymore.
No, people watch
it went through a cancel thing a couple of years ago. I
Did
think
it?
it was one of the
You
original
want back in,
cancel
Tom?
culture things.
This
Tom's
is
like, they're
plugged in.
talking about Blazing Saddles.
I'm
not
out.
going over
I'm
there.
out.
Share
out.
my mic with you.
Tom's maybe in his favorite location, which is behind the camera.
No, I do. I think
It
I
is good.
remember Blazing Saddles went through a cancel thing
Did it?
a while ago, like 10 years ago, I think. It seems like that was the deal.
I don't know.
I've never watched.
I like it when the companies stand up for themselves.
It's fair.
I mean, if you want to cancel something, if you want to protest it, if it offends you and you want to make a thing out of it, then go for it. I mean, it's America. You can do that,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, you should do that.
But it annoys me to watch the companies do it to themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like Disney. It's like, oh, we're getting rid of all this stuff that we created.
That is an interesting point.
Calm down.
Yeah.
So,
Poor Walt.
poor Walt.
I just
Who
don't
was
know.
apparently correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to spread rumors, but crazy anti-Semite.
I don't know. I don't know much about old Walt.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that.
It's been a while since I've read anything.
And
on
like I
that.
said, I don't want to start anything, but my understanding is he was pretty rabidly,
I know there was a controversy about him.
well,
I just don't. I don't know
I
much
think
about
that
it.
was it. He had a little bit of a Hitler look. to
But
him.
what you're
Oh,
talking about is
good.
you're talking about a time frame where we didn't have so much information on everybody.
Right.
So you were free to enjoy the parts of somebody or somebody's craft that you just liked.
Well, and
you
to
didn't
be-
have to think about all the other stuff about someone that you didn't like.
Well, and
People
we
used
still
to have,
should be.
I'm going to call it
Yeah.
manners, where they were polite in public, and who knew you didn't know what they were saying at home because they had a different. You had your kind of public persona.
They didn't have a Twitter account.
Yeah,
Which
they
is-
didn't have Twitter.
Which is called hypocrisy.
Yeah, but I mean, that was my thing. Is like, I mean, I grew up very much in a household where it's like you had manners,
Yeah.
and you didn't just go attack people, and you kept your business to yourself
Mhm.
instead of spreading it amongst the internet. So of course we know more about things, about people's
Right.
personal opinions that you normally wouldn't say in public
Yeah.
because that's become the norm now.
Well, I've told people in church, like, it's easy to love the TV preacher that you know, the guy that you listen to his podcast and you watch his online sermon because there's distance.
Right.
But real church is being in community with people. Now you get to choose to love somebody even when they make mistakes.
Because
and they're
that's
imperfect.
messy.
Well,
Because
yeah,
it's
there's
messy, right?
some
And that's his
uncomfortableness
life. Yeah.
about that. I mean, I remember as a kid, you know, the preacher's coming at you, you're like, oh, it was usually my grandpa.
Yeah, that's a different dynamic for sure.
Love you, Pop Pop.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like we just we love the idea that somebody is this image, and then the minute you find out they're anything but that, it's easy to just throw them
That's
away.
a really
We
good
discard
point.
them.
I think one of the things that I've realized is that we're not all born with morals. Our morals are what are shaped by our environment that we live in, and so it's hard to go ahead and cancel everybody because of their morals, because we all come from different perspectives, and that's kind of, I don't know, that's a little short-sighted, I think, on a lot of people to sit here and say, well, that's wrong, or this is wrong, or this is wrong. I don't really know who you are for you to be able to tell me, and I don't know what your definition of that is to begin with. It's like now we throw around the term racist all the time.
Ugh.
But I don't really think that a lot of those people that are saying that really know what the term racist really means.
Do we want to get into CPR?
Yeah, I don't
CRT rather than-
really want
I
to.
listened to a 3.5-hour podcast on the way to Dallas on Friday.
Thank
and,
you for
The
bearing.
Bravo Creative Podcast?
I did listen to an episode of that.
Thank you for bearing our cross.
Yeah.
Chris Ballard.
It was a fantastic podcast. But that was a great question they asked. Was we've even rewritten the definition of racism.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It actually has nothing to do with color, skin color. It has nothing to do with.
No, now it does. Because if you're white, you're a racist by definition.
Well, right. That is one of the problems with critical race theory.
Scary territory.
It doesn't create.
We're making Lauren uncomfortable.
It doesn't create solutions.
My insides are
it's
crawling.
just changed who we're upset with.
Yeah.
And there is no solution because once you cure the problem, we can't have this angst and anger anymore.
Well, and then you can't have a movement, and you can't have an organization, and you can't make money by leading an organization.
That's exactly.
And
yeah.
so that's why you can't have a solution because then your funds dry up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
the
think
moral
it's
of the
all a
story
lot more
is-
complex than.
Oh, it's far more complex.
Yeah.
It was 3.5 hours worth of talking complex,
Yeah.
and yet there's still volumes more to be written and said about it.
So the moral of the story is clean up your own backyard.
This
before you go out and
Saturday-
clean everyone else's backyard.
This Saturday at Postgame Pizza at 9 a.m. We're going to clean up the backyard.
I'm excited. There's a mulligan because I was in Dallas for the
I know,
Saturday
I had
cleanup,
stuff on Saturday,
I'm
too.
pretty excited to get my hands dirty.
I
this
do want to
weekend.
do a shout out to Storytime Coffee real quick because the Ethiopian drip is my new favorite. I love the Ethiopian. I hope they just
I'll have to try it.
Hope you guys just have it all the time.
I'm on the Guatemalan, but
It does come in and out, and I'm always sad when we run
Yeah,
out because
I love
it is the best
It is the
bean that
best.
we buy.
Yeah.
Can I
So-
request a Mexican dark roast?
Yeah,
I
We actually
officially
have-
request that.
there is a Mexican. We don't get it in very often.
I'd like to try it.
Okay.
It's been one of my favorite coffees. When Habit, that was my favorite of theirs, and they're rebuilding, which is cool. But
Yeah,
I'd
they
like
were
to
actually
request
meeting in our spot on Friday,
they're
going
so
over some
sweet.
things.
They're so sweet.
so what? Tell us about the that stuff. Ethiopian.
Ethiopian.
It's like the microphone.
The thing. Come on, man. You know the thing.
Come on, man.
What are the notes? What notes are you getting from the
Let's see what he
Ethiopian?
says, and I'll tell you.
I'm getting a little bit of cherry out of it.
Oh,
It's actually
Which-
blueberry,
Is it blueberry?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
but
Wow.
it's delicious. And again, it's funny when you talk about notes in coffee because you say it's got a honey or a chocolate or even something like a peanut butter note. You think, well, it's going to be peanut butter flavored coffee. No, that's not.
No.
It's a note. It's much more subtle than that. It's not like they put blueberry in
It's
it.
like drinking wine.
Yeah.
or
That's
bourbon.
right.
Ugh. Oh,
What's your problem?
I hate the smell of bourbon. Grosses me out. But Jesse's always talking about that. Like
Jesse doesn't.
Jesse doesn't. Well, he try. Well, what he likes to do, and this is kind of a fun thing to do. He likes to read about different bourbons, and some are available in certain places you go, and some aren't, and some are popular in certain places you go, and some aren't. So, like if we're in a weird, small, random town somewhere, like on a road trip, he'll go in the gas station and see what their bourbon selection is, and he knows what to look for. And then
At a gas station.
At a gas station or at a liquor store, like a small town. Because he's a bourbon connoisseur, although he says he gave it up for March.
Give it up for March. Not for Lent,
Not
for
for
March.
Lent.
Just March.
That's the worst month to give up.
Yes. St. Patty's Day, right?
And but and he talks about like, oh, this one's got hints of vanilla, and as the smells wafted across the room, I'm like, no, it just smells like bourbon.
So Michelle and I do the shelf test.
Mhm.
So a good bottle of wine typically is more than $9, but it's the one that's cleared off the shelf. So there's only
That's a
like
good
one or
point.
two bottles.
Hmm.
That's usually the one we'll go. Okay, that one passes the price test
And
it
the
passed
shelf
the
test.
shelf test. And so we
Smart
usually
cookies.
pick, the one that has less on the shelf.
That makes sense.
We have another comment here.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what's coming in
Who
here.
is it?
It's
Love
our friend
God,
Rick.
love your neighbor.
It's Rick Burney again. Yeah, love God, love your neighbor. We're all on the journey.
Greatest commandment.
Amen.
He's right.
Thank you, Rick.
Absolutely, sir.
And Rick's soon to be, I think, a contributor here.
I
on,
hope so.
K-ROG.
Cool.
I think
Talking
that's
with
something
Rick.
that needs to be
I do
contributed.
too. We're pretty excited about Rick coming on the air with his show.
Let's make it happen.
We'll have more information about that shortly. But thanks, Rick, for watching, and thanks for talking to us about participating. We always love to have people join in the team here at K-ROG.
Yes.
And joining all over the community. That's
Yeah,
a good
everywhere.
thing.
Yep.
It's a good thing.
Absolutely.
We're better together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And a great community it is.
Yes.
It is.
It's been fun this year, just watching everything kind of come together in a lot of ways. We got a ways to go, but we got a lot of things coming together.
I think we had Rogersville Strong. We got that as a hashtag. We use that. I think for 2021, I want winning.
What'd you say?
Winning. Rogersville's hashtag for 2021. Winning.
I like it.
Winning. Duh.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I like to win.
because we're destroying everyone. We're just better.
Oh my gosh.
We're just better than everybody else.
Will is like, we're having a warm and fuzzy moment. Will's like, they're
Crush
communists.
them.
Destroy
We've
them.
won. We're gonna win.
He's like an old retared general that sits at the table.
the bow.
He's got a big cigar. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
You know what we're gonna do next? We're gonna win.
Send the
We're gonna win.
troops.
We're going to win.
But we just won. We're gonna win.
We're going to win again.
You're gonna be so tired of winning.
What did you do yesterday? We won! What are you going to do today? Win! What are you going to do tomorrow? Win some more!
It's got a nice ring to
It
it.
kind of does.
Sounded
doesn't it?
good.
Can you teach that to the cheerleading?
I think I should.
Yes.
We'll work on that.
Some spirit fingers. That's all that was missing.
That'd be awesome, you know?
Oh.
You have that chant back, the cheerleaders and the crowd.
Yeah.
What did we do yesterday? Won! What are we doing today? Win! What are we going to do tomorrow? Win it some more!
You missed your calling, man. You're a
Done
cheerleading
it.
sponsor is what you are.
He's done it.
Oh, I think I've hit the. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
We always kind of know, don't we? And
I
that
gotta-
was it.
I got a short fuse.
Nowhere to go after that. The show is done.
It may already be done based off of things we've said this episode. We just don't know it yet.
Every episode could be our last. you know?
Everyone, you're just like, oh, did we do? Yep, we did
Yeah,
it.
we did it.
We're just
did
glad
it.
to be here.
I'm just glad I made it.
Yeah, we're glad you
Me
made it.
too.
too.
I'm glad you're here.
Well, we do need to shut it down. It's about 8:30.
Have we been rambling?
I
We've been rambling for 45 minutes
I got
again.
I got a car to fix.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.